Ciao, homie. Before we get started with today's topic, I want to tell you about TubeBuddy, the best plugin for Chrome to get advanced analytics, keyword explorers, a thumbnail generator, health reports, bulk processing, and a whole host of other features for those of you YouTubers looking to slash all of your administrative time and become really efficient with putting out quality video. I put a link in the description below. Check them out. They have a free version and a ridiculously cheap upgrade to the Pro version. It was $9 a month last time I checked. So check out and enjoy TubeBuddy. So now on with today's topic. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to My Blog Strongest Man, where we discuss using all of the implements you have around your home and on your property to get in that great workout today and get off the couch. Remember, burning some calories is better than burning no calories. So today what I wanted to do is do a soup to nuts beginning to end tutorial, so a little bit different than what I usually do, on how I record my videos and do all of the editing to put it all together into the final product that I then upload to YouTube and do my scheduling for future dates. So I wanted to walk through all of those steps with you today. So from this point forward, we'll move to a screen capture, which I'll be using OBS Studio for, and you'll be able to see all of the things that I do to piece these things together. Let's have a look. So I'm going to show you my software setup beginning to end, and I'll caveat this by saying that the setup is different whether I'm recording outside, on the go, inside with my camera, or showing you a tutorial like I am today. So you'll see I have OBS Studio open, and it looks really weird because what it's trying to do is record itself. I have this laptop not set up to any external monitors. If you use this software on multiple monitors where you have the software running on the left monitor, for example, and you're recording something on the right monitor, you won't see this kind of artifact. But this is what I'm seeing for now, and then all I do is I can clip this out later and just keep the part that I think is informative and instructive. So I just wanted to caveat that by saying when I'm doing a tutorial that I have to show my desktop on, I'm using OBS Studio. When I'm shooting something with my camera and my mic that's more of a talking head or action shots outside, and I'm not recording my desktop, I don't use this software at all. And I'll show you what I do instead in a moment. But first, let's have a look at my file system. So what you want to do is you want to have an external hard drive or a plan to store to the cloud or some sort of backup that you know is safer. And you'll see I have my normal C drive, but then I have this giant E drive, which is a tera in size. And of course, you have your file system file, so it comes out to a little less than a tera. I have almost 200 gigabytes free still, but I'm getting there, so I'm going to have to come up with a new plan soon. And this drive is, again, an external drive, and it's RAID fault tolerant, so it has 2 mirror 1 tera disks in it to protect against data loss. And so I would definitely recommend something like that, an external drive or a cloud-based system where you're backing up your files and you can get to them with much lower risk of losing them. So let's go into this drive and I'll show you how I organize my stuff. So typically I just go into here and then I'll navigate to public videos, which is just where I store my stuff, my Blog Strongest Man, and here's all my stuff. So I have a bunch of sound clips and Word documents and things like that that I use every time. So for example, on my videos, I talk about TubeBuddy at the beginning for a few seconds just to let people know about all the great advantages that it has. And I wouldn't want to record that every time. So I have my, TubeBuddy promo here in a WAV file. That's, again, a few seconds. And I just insert that when I do my editing at the beginning of each video. So you don't want to redo redundant things over and over again when you can simply just use them over until a good reason comes up to have to change it or update it. I have my Ciao Homie catchphrase that I play at the beginning of the videos and that I say live at the end of the videos. And so again, here's my WAV file for that. I just plug it in, right? There's no reason to redo it over and over again, especially because I've added some effects to it that I really like and it would be hard to duplicate. then you'll see like for every description. So every video description, there's specific pieces of information that I want to make sure are in there. So I have sort of this template for that. And we can go through, what all these things are in another video, but you can see them on my post, right? So if you go look at my descriptions, you'll see things that are common throughout. So like descriptions of my video setup, a call to action to like and subscribe, things like that. And then I have images, so like recliner chair images and my logo and things like that I want to kind of pop into each video so I can grab them easily from here. And then, of course, last but not least, I have a folder for music in here somewhere. Here we go. So if you go into music, and if you check my descriptions on my video, you'll see I talk about bensound.com a lot. And the reason for that is, number one, I love them, and number two, you have to reference them if you use their royalty-free music. So I've found all these different variations of musics for different occasions or different kinds of videos, and you really want to try to standardize. So I use the one called Epic up here for almost all of my videos. So here, let's sort by name. This one. Epic is the one that I use on almost all of my videos, but if I have like a particularly whimsical topic, I might use dubstep or something. So I use different intro and outro music for specific reasons, but the main theme of my channel uses the same standardized one every time so people know what to expect. Nick's Strength and Power is a great example of this, like dun 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 at the beginning of every one, so you know what you're watching, you know what you're gonna get. And so that's music. And then if we go back here, now you can see how I've organized my episodes. And I'll talk about numbering episodes in another video. It has caused confusion with some of my viewers, so I use this internally for my own tracking purposes. I don't write the episode numbers in my subject lines or descriptions anymore. But again, it's good for me to know how many I have and to track which is which. And of course, I, learning as I go, have learned on the newest ones to kind of put a little descriptor next to it of what the topic is there, so you don't have to remember which episode is what, but you learn as you go. So these are all my different episodes. I have a strict curl video coming out soon, so if we go into this folder, you'll see the different files that kind of are part of putting together the editing for that. And so these MOV files came from my DSLR camera, and you'll see there's 3 of them. My particular camera cuts off videos at 10 minutes, so if I go over that, I have to really pay attention and listen to the shutter turning off so that I can stop talking, go turn it on again, and then continue with my audio so I don't get too far out of sync. But in this particular case, there were 3 different recording files, and that's not to say it was a 30-minute video. Sometimes my first one is just getting the camera set up and making sure that it looks okay. So 3 files from my camera. Then you have this AUP file, which comes from Audacity. And let's show you Audacity. So I'm going to click and open that up. And this is what Audacity looks like before you do anything. It's kind of empty. And then typically what you would do is click record. And again, I'm not using Audacity for this particular video because it's a tutorial done from my desktop. So OBS Studio is recording my audio and the video from the desktop all in one. However, if I were recording either in my office with my camera or outdoors with my camera, I would be using my microphone at a distance from my camera. So I'd be recording the audio separately from the video, and then I would have to piece them together, and I'll show you in a moment how that all works. So I would use Audacity for that, and it's literally like you click the record button, and you'll see as I'm talking here, it's capturing fluctuations in my voice, and I'll just hit stop because I don't know what's going to happen when both OBS Studio and Audacity are recording me on the one mic, so I'll stop it there. And then what you can do that's really great with Audacity is a lot of times, because I'm syncing audio and video together, I'll have like big blank spots at the beginning where I know I haven't said anything. And of course, you want to play it back and listen to make sure you weren't saying anything, but it's as easy as this. You just highlight it, hit your delete key, and it's gone. Like, it's really easy to chop out empty space at the beginning, the end, or even in the middle of your audio recordings. And then of course you can, do your Control A shortcut to select all like you would in many other programs and add effects. So you can come into effects, and on my Ciao Homie for the intro on my videos, you might notice that it's, it's not a crazy effect, but it's a little different than a normal voice would be, just for a little bit of extra punch. And I added pulse stretch to that. So basically, Ciao Homie takes me, I don't know, 0.8 seconds to say, but it plays back at like 1.3 seconds. So it's stretched out a little more for effect, and I think I added a little reverb to it too. So Audacity is free software. I have to emphasize, all the software I've used so far on my channel is free. I'm trying to, number one, economize, because I'm just getting started and I'm not monetized yet on YouTube in the variety of different channels that I've been using. And number two, this free software is working really well, so why change, right? And so that's Audacity, and that's how you save the AUP file that I show you here. And then once you're done, you would save your project, and that's the AUP file, and then you export audio. So that takes, the project is like the plan, and then the exported audio generates the actual WAV file from that plan, and that's what this is. So this plan that I've created generates this WAV file, which will go into my editing. So let's jump back to OBS Studio, and you'll see that freaky effect again, where it's recording itself over and over. And so if we look back at the files, just want to make sure I covered everything. The one that's remaining is this OSP file, and that's OpenShot. So we'll go into OpenShot, which is here, and this is where I piece everything together. So I'll show you how OpenShot works. This is actually the episode I just put together on my strict curl video, which will be airing next week, about a week from now. So I have done videos in the past about pre-scheduling, like batch recording your YouTube videos and pre-scheduling them so you don't go crazy and get stressed out and never get a break from working. So I'm about a week and a half pre-done now. So there's recordings going out every other day on their own while I'm making new ones. And this one should be airing next Thursday, probably the 25th or something like that of September. And so how does this work? Well, you have your tray up here, which is all your project files. And then what you do is hit the plus button, and then I'll go into my Block Strongest Man. I know this is episode 37, so let's see, where's episode 37, Strict Curl. And then these are all the files that I just showed you, of course, in a detail view, right? So if I were to do large icon, it would look like I just showed you. And then I would pull in this is actually the result of it. So this doesn't exist yet when I'm editing. So I would pull in the 3 MOV files and the WAV file. Okay, and once you do that, they will appear in this tray up here. So your first question is, well, there's a lot more stuff up there. What is all that? Well, what I like to do is, once I've edited a video, I save it, and then when I do the next one, I open up, like I'll open up episode 37 and save as episode 38, so that it has my Ciao Homie, it has my intro music, my outro music, all lined up where I want it already, and then all I'm changing is the meat of that video, not all the ancillary stuff that doesn't change. So you'll see my Block Strongest Man image is here, which is what you see over here in the preview player. The Ciao Homie is here, the intro music is here, and then all the rest of this was imported from the file system I just showed you. And so what happens? Well, you literally drag and drop, right? So I would take this sound file and drag it down here to wherever I want it, and I won't mess with it because I've already done this one. But what I can do here is, you have various tracks, and so I try to separate out the different pieces of this into different tracks. So Ciao Homie is this, and I can zoom in. So you can plus button to zoom in, and now you can see that it's Ciao Homie. And the zooming in and out is effective if you want things to sync with each other, not exactly, but really close, like a tenth of a second apart or whatever. If you zoom in, you can kind of like move this really small and let it start right there instead of right there, to make sure that the lips on the video and the sound on the audio are not off from each other. They'll always be off, right? Because you're not going to click start on Audacity and start recording on your camera exactly at the same millisecond. So you will have to fiddle with that a bit, and zooming really in makes that a lot easier. So if you zoom out, then you will see the whole project, right? If I keep zooming all the way out, these are all the pieces of the whole project. and this particular one was close to 15 minutes in length. So zoom in a little bit, and I'll just show you how this is all laid out, and then we'll wrap it up. So again, let's zoom in so we can see the Xiaomi. There you go, right there. So, and I believe OBS Studio, if I play this, will record the sound from my desktop, so let's try. So I'll just hit play on the preview here.
Xiaomi.
And you should have heard that, and now you should be hearing my intro music. And we'll stop. So I have a lot of stuff running on my computer right now, so it's a little choppy, but basically it's previewing the video up here on the top right, and making its way through my project or my plan down here on the bottom. And as I said, the different tracks are just layers that you can layer on top of each other to run at the same time or at separate times. So my Xiaomi is here, then my intro music comes in at the same time that my intro logo comes in. And in this particular case, it was longer than usual. I typically have like 4 seconds of intro music accompanied by 4 seconds of intro logo, and then I go into sort of the meat of it, which is here is what came from my camera and here is what came from my audio, so we can kind of position there and play, and you'll see.
On with today's video.
Yeah, so again, choppy because I have a lot of stuff running, but you kind of heard my voice a bit there. It's starting with the video and the audio at the same time. If we position it here, you'll see I'm now into my actual video. And so you try to align them so that the sound and the video are aligned. And here you'll see I had to drag multiple videos down, as I said, because I had 3 of them. And so I try to piece them together so that the video here matches the audio that's talking up here. And so you can start to appreciate this takes time. If I were to show you actually doing this from scratch instead of showing you a finished product here, it would probably be somewhere in a 1 to 2 hour process. So you're not going to want to watch a video that long. So I'm trying to show you the highlights. But it is a long and tedious process that becomes easier with the little tricks I showed you about, like leaving the sound, the intros positioned in the same place every time and things like that, like kind of templatizing and standardizing things to make it easy on yourself and to give the end user a better expectation and experience as well. And so again, the way I do my tracks is Xiaomi, image, intro music, then I go up to my video, then I go up to my audio. And 5 tracks usually does it. If I'm showing a clip of somebody else's YouTube video, for example, like I did with my recent Ian Valliere review on the New York Pro 2020, there would be a 6th track that shows that video as well. And so if we go all the way to the end, you'll see it all lines up at the end. It took me a lot of work to get it to line up, but that's kind of what goes into it. And so here, for example, I didn't have enough camera for all the talking I did because the camera cut out. So I had to come in with my logo image again while the audio is still going, which is fine. Like, successful YouTubers do this all the time. They have still images or videos of other things, and that's fine. And then it goes into my outro music at the end. So that's how you set it all up. And then what happens then? Well, you click on this red button, which is Export Video, and you'll name your video. You'll tell it which folder path you'd like it to go to, and I'm going to send it to the same folder where I showed you that I had all my other files earlier. And then I typically change the video profile to be 1080p at 30 frames a second, so I get HD quality output. And then you hit export, and depending on how long the video is, the export can take different amounts of time. It's not instantaneous ever, so don't expect that. I would say this 15-minute video, it probably took close, 40, 50 minutes, maybe close to an hour to export. And again, once you've exported it, it creates from this project, this file is this plan, like this project, and then the output of that is this MP4 file, which is what I end up uploading to YouTube. And then we can do another video another time about how to properly upload to YouTube, adding tags in the right way, adding end cards and all that stuff. So we'll make that a separate discussion because this video is already getting a little lengthy, but hopefully you've found some great information here and found this to be really useful. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I hope I've been providing you with a lot of great great information, entertaining stuff, motivating stuff to get you off the couch and out and exercising. Like the video, please share this with everybody you know. It's very much appreciated. And don't forget to hit that bell button for notifications of all my great content coming up soon. Also, stay tuned soon for a video about how to do t-shirt merchandising, which I've delved into a little bit, kind of creating your own designs and making products out of them without any upfront cost on Spreadshirt. So I'm going to be doing a video on that soon, and hopefully that'll be helpful to all you new YouTubers as well. So thanks again for joining me, and of course, until next time, ciao, homie.